हेलो एवरीवन, माय नेम इज़ आदित्य और आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे स्कोर की तैयारी। यहाँ पे मैं आईक्यू का आज आपको पढ़ाने वाला हूँ। आज हम आईक्यू मेंटेबिलिटी की तैयारी करने वाले हैं। इन केस ऑफ आईक्यू और मेंटेबिलिटी, अवर टुडेज टॉपिक इज अगेन परसेंटेज. In our first class of percentage, we have covered some basics, some introduction, and some important types and examples and formulas. Okay. In today's class also, what we will do, we will just cover the remaining topics, the remaining parts, the remaining formulas, the remaining questions, and we will practice those questions that are most likely to come in most of competitive exams. Okay. So before starting, let us first do one thing. दिमाग ऑन. ओके, सो अपना दिमाग जो है वो हमेशा ऑन रखिए, तभी हम ये सारी की सारी चीजें जो आईक्यू की आज हम पूरी की पूरी सेशन में समझने वाले, तभी आप समझ पाएंगे. ओके, चलिए. सो द टॉपिक इज परसेंटेज. दिस वी ऑलरेडी नो. This agenda of the session, this we already covered. You know that percentage basics we are going to cover, and finding the original value, percentage applications, and advanced problem solving. We are going to solve these things, and then we will discuss real life applications, exam level problems. Okay, percentage change and understanding percentage, this part we have already covered, okay, in the previous lecture. So in today's class we will do the remaining part. So you know that in the previous class we have covered some questions related to population. Okay, population change. If there is an increase in population by X%, what will be the new population? Okay, so we have done these kind of questions. So now, advancing this further, let me just change the questions a little more difficult side, because the formula will get more. Now you know the formula, okay? So you will get comfortable if I tell you something more about that formula. Like you already know, if A is increased by X%, if A is increased by X%, the new value of A is 100% plus X% of A. So this we already know. Okay, there is no problem in this. Okay, or we can say population also. If a population of a town is increased by X% in the first year, so we can say that after 1 year, the increase in the population, or we can say the new population of that town will be how much? It will be 100% plus X% of the old population. Okay, but what happens, what we will do when we are given that there is an increase in population of X% every year? So what will be the population after 2 years? What will be the population after 3 years? After 4 years? After 5 years? After 10 years? After 20 years? So how can we solve those kind of questions? Okay, so that part is also very easy. So let us assume that we have to find the population increase after n years. Okay, so n can be any integer. Okay, so if population is increased by X% every year, okay, then new population after n years, what will be the formula then? Now you already know the formula. What will be the formula? It will be 100% plus X% raised to the power n of old population. Old population you can take P. Okay, you can take the old population P, and the increase in population is X%. So the population after n years will be 100% plus X% raised to the power n into old population. Okay, you can just first of all write it down in your notebooks if you are having, then I will teach you further. So let us now move on further. I hope this much is clear to everyone. So after n years, the new population will be 100% plus X% raised to the power n of P. Okay, so now if we are given that the population is increased by X% every year, so what was the population n years ago? 1 year ago, 2 years ago, what was the population 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago? Then in that case, how will we solve? Let us now see this thing. So new population, or population population, let me just write. Okay, so population n years ago, population n years ago. If the population is increasing by X% every year, the population n years ago was how much? So let us now see. So it will be the current population that we are given divided by 100% plus X% raised to the power n. Okay, so this will be the formula. So you can clearly see that both of these formulas are interrelated. Okay, so now in this case, we are finding this value. Okay, and in this case, we are finding this value. So this is just getting cross multiplied here. Okay, both of these formulas are actually interrelated. There is no difference in in any of them. I have just changed the cross multiplication part, and you are getting the same formula in the other way. Okay, so the new population after n years is this. Population n years ago was this. Okay, I hope this much is clear. So now based on it, let us do some questions. Suppose population of a town currently is, population of town is 1200. Let us suppose 1200. Okay, it increases by 10% every year. 10% every year. So question is, what will be the population? What will be the population after 3 years? After 3 years. Okay, so this is the question. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to all of you to solve this question. After 30 seconds, I will see that how many of you are getting the correct answer. So दिमाग लगाओ, क्योंकि timer start now. Okay, friends, I think 30 seconds are over now. Okay, so if you have answered this question, you can just put it in your comment box so that I can see whether how many of you are getting the correct answer and how many of you are not getting the correct answer. Okay, so let us see how can we solve it. Now we already know the formula, that the population after n years formula we already know. So it will be how much? New population, it is 100% plus X% of raised to the power n of old population or the current population. Now in this case, we already know that the population is getting increased by 10%. So 100% plus 10% is how much? You can do it in your mind. It will be 100% plus 10% is how much? It will be 110%. So 110%, you can write it like this, 110% can be written as 110 by 100 raised to the power. So after how many years you have to find? After 3 years. And what is the current population? Current population is 1200. So you will just solve it. Okay, you will get your answer. Now you know that this 0 will be cancelled with this 0. And 11 cube is how much? 11 cube is 1331. So 1331 divided by 10 cube is 1000 multiplied by 1200. So now you can just cancel these two zeros with these two zeros and just multiply 1331 with 12. Okay, I will just do it for you. You can do it yourself also, like 12 ones are 12. I will take 1 carry. 12 3s are 36 plus 1, 37. 3 carry. 12 3s are 36, 36 plus 3, 39. 9 I will write, 3 I will carry. 12 ones are 12, 12 plus 3, that is 15. So answer is 1597.2. 0.2. But the thing is, population cannot be in decimal because otherwise you need to cut down one person, okay, in 2 by 10 form. but you can say that approximately it is 1597. Okay, so answer is 1597. So you can write it like this, because population cannot be in decimal form, it should be in integral form. So it is 1597. Okay, I hope this question is clear to everyone. Earlier population was 1200, now the new population is 1597. Okay, okay, so now I hope these kind of questions you can do. Our next type of questions are very interesting and actually very important, because these kind of questions are very common in the recent exams or any competitive exams. Okay, so before telling you that concept, let me just give you an example. Let us suppose you went to market, okay, and you buy some objects. Let us suppose you buy some things. Let us suppose you buy four objects from the market. Okay, so what is this? This is your consumption. This is your what? This is your consumption. Okay, this is your consumption. Okay, or you can say that you have bought 4 kg items. 4 kg. You can also write it like this. You have bought 4 kg items. Okay, so now there is one more thing, that when you went to market, you know the price of each kg item. Okay, you know the price per kg. So what is the price per kg in this case? Price is, let us suppose price is 12 per kg. Okay, so rupees 12 per kg. So this is the price of, I have written Prince. My English is so good that I have written Prince only. Okay, so price is rupees 12 per kg. Now, suppose you have to find the expenditure. So what will be the expenditure in this case? Expenditure will be how much? Expenditure will be 48 rupees. Total expenditure will be rupees 48. How? Now you can clearly see that I have just multiplied the price with consumption. Okay, I have found out that expenditure is equals to price into consumption, and I am using this formula here. Expenditure is equals to price into consumption. This is expenditure, this is price, and this is consumption. So based on it, I'm going to give you some questions. I am going to tell you a concept that is much related to these kind of questions. Okay, so let us now understand this part, that is expenditure is equals to price into consumption. Expenditure is equals to price into consumption. Now you can very clearly see that price and consumption are getting multiplied with each other, and after multiplication we are getting expenditure. Okay, now suppose in any question you are given that price is increased by X% or R%, anything. Okay, you can take X%, you can take R%, any variable you can take. Suppose the price of this article or price per kg of anything that you are buying is getting increased, because due to inflation the prices will get increased now. Okay, so price is getting increased. Let us suppose it is increased by 20%. Let us suppose it is increased by 20%. Now your expenditure will remain same. Okay, you are thinking, but in this case your expenditure will remain same. Okay, so let us suppose your expenditure is same. You are not spending more than the amount of rupees that you were spending before. You are spending the same amount of money that you were spending earlier. Okay, so total expenditure will remain same. Now the question will come like this, that if expenditure is remaining same and price is getting increased by 20%, what will be the decrease in consumption? What will be the reduced percentage reduction in the consumption, so that your expenditure will remain same? So these kind of questions will come in exam. Okay, so I hope you are getting the question. Suppose the price is getting increased, expenditure is getting constant, expenditure will not increase, suppose. So it means you are being asked that by how much percent the consumption will decrease in this case. Okay, so there is very easy method of solving this question. Okay, the easy method is, if price is increased by R%, let us suppose price is increased by R%. price is increased by R%, then it means that the consumption will decrease by it will be decreased by how much percent? It will be decreased by R upon 100 plus R into 100%. You can write it like this. Okay, so this is the short trick you can see here. Like, if the expenditure is remain same, price is getting increased by R%, the consumption will be reduced by how much percent? R upon 100 plus R into 100%. Okay, and in the similar way, let us suppose that the expenditure is remaining same. Let us suppose. In the second case, let us suppose expenditure is remaining constant. Now, in this case, let us suppose price is getting decreased by R%. Price is reduced by R%. Let us suppose price is reduced by R% and expenditure is remaining constant. So, in that case, consumption will be increased. Consumption will be increased now for taking the same expenditure, the consumption of that same items will get increased, but by how much percent? Let us now find it out. So consumption will get increased by, let us see, it will be increased by R upon 100 minus R into 100%. Okay, so these are the two very important formulas that I'm telling you here, that if the price is increased by R%, the consumption will be reduced by this much amount of percent, and if price is getting decreased by R%, the consumption will increase by R upon 100 minus R into 100%. Okay, so now you might be thinking that this formula is so much difficult and it is being applied to only these kind of questions. Why to do so much effort? But this is the wrong decision. This is the wrong decision from your side, because you are thinking in the wrong way, because you are seeing this question. But this part of tricky formulas are being applied in all of those questions which are having formulas in this type. Like, for example, you can apply this formula in other formulas also. Like, suppose you are given that distance is equals to speed into time. Suppose you are given the distance is equals to speed into time. Let us suppose. Now, suppose you are being said that distance is getting constant. It is not getting increased. It is not getting decreased. But speed is getting increased by R%. Let us suppose. Speed is getting increased by R%, and you are being asked that by how much percent the time will be reduced. The time will get decreased. Okay. So we can see in this case that the time will be decreased by how much percent? It will be decreased by R upon 100 plus R into 100%. Okay, so this will be the case. Okay, and similarly, if the speed will be decreased by R%, the time will get increased by R upon 100 minus R into 100%. Okay, so it will be like this. So this trick or this formula can be applied in all of those questions in which we are getting equation in this type. Like whether expenditure is equals to price into consumption, whether distance is equals to speed into time, or whether any kind of questions like these. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. Let us now do some examples based on it. Suppose you are given that if price of an article is increased by 20%, then by how much percent there is a reduction in consumption so as not to increase the expenditure, so as not to increase the expenditure. Okay, so this is the question. I will give you 30 seconds to solve this question. Just try it out. Okay, then I will see whether you are getting the correct answer or not. So your time starts now. Okay, friends, let us now see whether you are getting the correct answer or not. Okay, you already know the formula, you already know the trick. We will just apply that trick here and we will get our answer. Okay, so if price of an article is increased by 20%, now you already know the formula, expenditure is equals to price into consumption. Okay, you already know the formula. Now in this case, expenditure is getting same, it will not be increased, it will not be decreased. Price will be increased by 20%. Price will be increased by 20%. So the question is, will be how much reduction in consumption? So consumption will be reduced by how much percent? This is the question. It will be decreased by. Now you already know the formula. It is R upon, in place of R you can write 20. R upon 100 plus R, so it will be 120 into 100. Okay. So if you solve it, this 0 will be cancelled with this 0, 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12. So if you divide 100 with 6, you will get 16.66%. You already know the fractional value of 1 by 6 in the percentage form. So it means consumption will be decreased by how much percent? It will be decreased by 16.66%. So this will be your answer. Okay, so if you divide 100 with 6, you will get your answer, that is 16.66%. Okay, I hope this question is clear to everyone. Okay, if there is any doubt till now, you can just tell me in the comment box, or you can tell whether you are getting the correct answer or not in the comment box. I will check it and I will see how many of you are getting the correct answers. Okay, and if you are having any doubt or you are having any query or if there is anything you can't able to understand, or if there is something I have done some mistake, you can tell me in the comment box that thing also. I will see and I will correct it, and I will tell you, I will reply it to you that, okay, whatever will be the query from your side. Okay. So now let us move on to next question, my friends. Okay. So next question, before moving to next question, let us now do one more concept. So see, beta, some questions comes from depreciation. We have done population increase, we have done increase in percent, but there might be some questions that comes from depreciation part. Okay, suppose there is a car which is, okay, whose price is P. Okay, so there is a depreciation in its price and it will get reduced. Okay, so question can be that after how many, after 2 years or after 3 years or after 4 years, what will be the new price after this depreciation? If the depreciation is getting done by X% every year, so what will be the new price of the car after 2 years or after 3 years? So these kind of questions can come. Okay, like you can also be asked, what was the price of the car 3 years ago? If the depreciation of the car is being happening at X% every year, so what was the price of the car 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago? So these kind of questions can also come in exam. So for solving these kind of questions, it's again very easy. You have already done this part. How? You have done 100% plus X%. In depreciation case, you don't have to do anything, okay, further. You just have to change plus sign with minus sign. You have to just change plus sign with minus sign and you will get your answer. Okay, so let me tell you how. Suppose you are given that price of car, price, I am writing prince in case of price. The price of car is P. Suppose you are given like this. Okay, so it is depreciating. It is depreciating by R% every year. So price of car after n years is equals to how much? It will be 100% plus R% raised to the power n multiplied by the old price of the car. Okay, so this will be the, but see, I have done a mistake here. There is a depreciation, so I have to do minus sign, not plus sign. I have to use minus sign, not plus sign. So it will be 100% minus R% raised to the power n multiplied by p. Okay, so this will be the case. And similarly, if we have to find the price of car n years ago, in that case, what will be our answer? In that case, our answer will be P upon 100% minus R%. Okay? So this will be our answer. Okay? But raised to the power n also. Okay? So I hope these kind of questions will be okay with you. Okay, you can now solve each of these questions very easily. You have to just put the values of n, you have to just put the value of r, and you will get your correct answer. Okay, so now, my dear friends, we are going to solve some questions, and now comes the mission part. Okay, so we will do some missions. Let us see how many of you will be able to solve those missions. Okay, so we will now practice some questions. Okay, so let us see what is our first mission. Okay, so first mission is, my dear friends, okay, so I can write mission number 1. Mission number 1. So first question is, two students appeared at an exam. Two students appeared at an exam. One of them secured, let me write it. One of them secured 9 marks more than the other. 9 marks more than the other. Okay, and his marks was 56%, and his marks was 56% of the sum of their marks. Of the sum of their marks. The marks obtained by them are. So question is, the marks obtained by them are. So my dear friends, this is your first mission. So try to solve it as earlier as possible. You will be given 30 seconds here, and your timer starts now. Okay, my dear friends, I think time is over now. Okay, so if you have solved your question, just put your answer in the comment box. Okay, if you have not done it, just pause the video and solve it, and then check the answer. Okay, so let us now see how can we solve it. So there are two students appeared at an exam. One of them secured 9 marks more than the other. So let us suppose one student is getting X marks. Okay, let us assume that one student is getting X marks. So if one student is getting X marks, what will be the marks obtained by the other student? It will be X plus 9, because the other student is getting 9 marks more than the other. Okay, so it means if one student is getting X marks, the other student is getting X plus 9 marks. Okay, I hope this much is clear. Now it is also been given that his marks, okay, that his marks was 56% of the sum of their marks. Okay, it means the student who is getting X plus 9 marks, okay, is having 56% of the sum of their marks. So we can write it like this. That X plus 9 is equals to how much? It is 56% of the sum of their marks. So it will be X plus 9. So you can write it like this. Okay. So now you have to just solve it. You will get your answer. So what you will do? You will just do 100x plus 900. Because I have just done cross multiplication. So 2x. X plus x is 2x. So 56 multiplied by 2 will be how much? It will be 112x plus 56 multiplied by 9 is how much? It will be 9 6 is 54. 9 5 is 45, 504. So now you will take x on one side and the other values on the other side. So 112x minus 100x will be 12x. And 900 minus 504 will be equals to, I think it will be 396 if I am not wrong. If I am not wrong, it will be this. Okay, so okay, am I okay here? Okay, so now what will be the value of x from here? The value of x will be, if you divide 396 with 12, you will get 33. It means one student is getting 33 marks and the other student is getting 33 plus 9. So 33 plus 9 is how much? It is 42. So it means answer is 33 and 42. If you are getting the correct answer, then you have passed mission 1. You have completed mission 1 successfully. Give yourself 1 point in the comment box. Then we will move on to our next mission. Our next mission is, let us see, mission number 2. My dear friends, my dear agents, now we are moving to mission number 2. So mission number 2 is, a fruit seller had some apples. A fruit seller had some apples. He sells 40% apples. He sells 40% apples and still has 420 apples. And still has 420 apples. Okay. So now originally he had how many apples? This is the question. So originally he had. So this is the question now, my dear agents. So you will be given 30 seconds to solve this question. Your timer starts now. Okay, so my dear friends, I think time is over now. Let us now see that how many of you are getting the correct answers. If you are getting the correct answer, just put it in the comment box. If you're not getting it, just pause the video, solve it, and then check the correct answer. Okay, so let us now see what will be the answer. So now in this case, a fruit seller had some apples. He sells 40%. If he sold 40%, if he already sold 40%, then how many percent apples are still left? 60% apples. Okay, so it means how many percent are still left? It is 100% minus 40%. It is 60%. So 60% apples are still left. So now you are given that still has 420 apples. So 60% of the apples, 60% of the total number of apples is equals to how much? It is equals to 420. Now you have to just solve it. So it means 60% apples is 420. So 1% apples is equals to how much? So 1% apples will be equals to 420 upon 60. It will be 7. So what will be 100%? What will be the total? It will be 700, isn't it? Because you have to find that originally he had how many apples? Okay, so he was having 700 apples. Okay, if your answer is correct, you have passed mission 2, and give yourself 2 points, my dear agents, if you have passed this mission. If you have not passed, just okay, just be with me, just do more questions, you will get it. Okay, so now also there is one more thing. If you're not getting the correct answer, okay, you can just watch the video again if you have some query in it. If then also your query is not being solved, you can just see it. Okay. Okay. So my dear friends, let us now move on to our next question. Okay. So next question is, what percentage of numbers, mission number 3, what percentage of numbers from 1 to 70, from 1 to 70 have 1 or 9 in the unit digit, have 1 or 9 in unit digit. Okay, so this is your question. Until now we were doing some easy questions. Now we will move on to some difficult questions also, step by step. So what percentage of numbers from 1 to 70 have 1 or 9 in the unit digit? So just solve it and tell me what is your correct answer. So I will give you 30 seconds. Okay, my dear friends, let us now see. I think 30 seconds are over now. So let us see how many of you are getting the correct answer. If you are getting your answer, just put it in the comment box. If you are not getting the answer, just pause the video, solve it, and then check it. Okay. So now, what percentage of numbers from 1 to 70 have 1 or 9 in the unit digit? So now you already know that what are those numbers which are having 1 or 9 in the unit digit. So it is starting from 1, 9, then it is 11, then 19, 21, 29, 31, 39, 41, 49, 51, 59, and at last 61 and 69. So if you calculate all of these numbers, how many of these numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So there are 14 numbers which are okay satisfying this criteria. So it means there are 14 numbers. Out of how many numbers? Out of how many numbers you were asked? You were given 70 numbers. So out of 70 numbers, there are only 14 numbers which are satisfying this criteria. So what is the percentage? For finding the percentage, you will just multiply with 100. So if you solve it, 14 5s are 70 and 100 when divided by 5, you will get 20. So it means answer is 20%. Okay. So I hope this mission is clear. Okay. So this was very easy question. I think there is not a single, might not be a single student who has not solved this question. So if you have solved this question, just give yourself 3 points in total if you have solved all of these 3 missions correctly. If you have done now, then move on to our next mission. Okay. Now let us move on to our mission number 4. So mission number 4, my dear agents. Okay, so agents, next mission is, in an election between two candidates, in an election between two candidates, in an election between two candidates, one got 55% of total valid votes, one got 55% of total valid votes, 20% of the votes were invalid, 20% of votes were invalid. If the total number of votes was 7500, if total number of votes was 7500, the number of valid votes, the number of valid votes that the other candidate got was, that the other candidate got was. Okay, so this is your question, my dear agents. Just solve it. You will be given 30 seconds. After that, we will see how many of you are getting the correct answer. Okay, so your timer starts now. Okay, my dear agents, let us now see what is the correct answer of this question. If you have done this question, if you have passed this mission, just check whether you have done it correct or not and put your marks, point your score or your name in the comment box. Then I will see that how many of you are getting the correct answer. If until now you have not got the answer, just pause the video, solve it and then check the answer. Okay, so let us now solve it. Let us see what will be the answer. Okay, so in this question you are given that there is an election between two candidates, out of which one of them is getting 55% of the total valid votes. One candidate is getting 55% of the total valid votes. Okay, so what is the percentage of votes that the other candidate will be getting? The other candidate will be getting, if one candidate is getting 55% of the valid votes, it means other candidate will be getting 100% minus 55%, isn't it? If candidate 1, this is candidate 1, candidate 1 is getting 55% of the valid votes, it means candidate 2 might be getting 100% minus 55% of the valid votes, isn't it? So it means it will be how much? It will be 45% of the valid votes, 45% of the valid votes. Okay, so one candidate is getting 55% of the valid votes, the other candidate will be getting 45% of the valid votes. Now the other part of the question is saying that 20% of the votes were invalid. 20% of the votes were invalid. It means how many votes are valid votes? If 20% are invalid, if 20% votes are invalid, then how many votes are left which are valid? So it means valid votes are 80%, isn't it? Okay, because 20% votes are invalid, it means 80% votes are what? It are valid votes. It means valid votes are how many? 4. So other candidate is getting 45% of the valid votes. So what are the valid votes? These are 80% of the total votes, Okay, so how many are the total votes? Total votes you are given, the total number of votes are 7500. So in place of total votes, you can write 7500. You can write 7500. Now you just have to solve it. You will get the number of votes obtained by the other candidate. Okay, so how can you solve it? You will just cancel these two zeros with these two zeros. This 0 will be cancelled with this 0. 5 2s are 10. 5 9s are 45, 2 4s are 8. So ultimately you will be left with 9 into 4 into 75. 9 into 4 into 75. So 75 into 4 is 300 and 300 multiplied by 9 is 2700. Okay. So it means the final answer will be 2700. So it means the other candidate is getting 2700 votes. Okay. So if this is your answer, if this was your answer, then you, congratulations, you have done this mission correct. You have completed the mission number 4 and you are now move on to the last mission, that is mission number 5. Okay, and if you have done it correctly, just put it in the comment box that you have done the mission number 4 correctly and you have got total 4 points till now because you have passed all of these 4 missions. Okay, so now let us move on to our last mission, my dear agents. Your last mission is mission number 5. Okay, so my favorite dialogue now, दिमाग लगाओ क्योंकि timer starts now. Okay, so let us now see our this mission. This might be our last mission of today's class. So the question is saying a student multiplied a number. A student multiplied a number. A student multiplied a number. Sorry, I have to write a number. I have written by number. A student multiplied a number by 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3. 3 by 5 instead of 5 by 3. So question is, what is the percentage error in the calculation? So what is percentage error in calculation? Okay, so this is your mission number 5. So solve it now and दिमाग लगाओ क्योंकि timer starts now. Okay, my dear agents, let us now see how can we solve this mission number 5. Okay, so if you're getting your answer, just put it in the comment box. If you're not getting it, just check now. Okay, so let us now see. So now in this case, let us assume that the number is x. Let us assume that the number is x. Number is equals to x. Now he has by mistake multiplied with 3 by 4, but in reality he has to multiply it with 5 by 3. So what was the original number? Original means he has to actually multiply it with 5 by 3. But by mistake, number becomes how much? Number is equals to 3 by 5x. Okay, so now we have to just find out first of all the error. So what is the error? Error is the original value minus the mistaken value. So it is 5 by 3x minus of 3 by 5x. So if you solve it, you will get 15 in the denominator by taking LCM. So 3 5s are 15, 25x minus 9x. What is 25x minus 9x? It will be 16x. So this is our error. But we do not have to find the error. We have to find the error percentage. So what is the error percentage? Error percentage is equals to error divided by original value multiplied by 100. So this is the formula. Okay, for finding the error percent, you can just use this formula. So I will just erase this part because I can now solve it here. Okay, so I will just erase this part because for finding the error percent, we can just solve here. So now, my dear agents, so error percent is equals to error. What is the error? It is 16x upon 15. And my dear agents, what is the original value? Original value, my dear agents, is 5 by 3x. So 5 by 3x. So now multiplied by 100. So now for solving it, you can clearly see that x will be cancelled with x. 3 ones are 3, 3 fives are 15. Okay, then ultimately you will be left with how much? You will be left with 16 upon 25 multiplied by 100. So 25 fours are 100 and 16 fours are 64. So your final answer will be 64%. It means error is 64%. So this will be your answer. Okay, so this was mission number 5. If you have completed this mission correctly, successfully, so congratulations, you have completed all of these missions, and you can now put your name with your score in the comment box. If you have done all of these 5 missions correctly, okay, then you're actually the IQ agent of my class. So let us now see the last part of today's video. See, one more thing that that I always want to discuss with you. It is about score. We are preparing for score in these classes. Actually, we are preparing for all the competitive exams, but majorly we are preparing for score. Okay, so score exam will be conducted in 2026 on 11th October 2026. If you found that you can able to solve these questions, you can solve IQ part, you can solve maths part, you can solve science part, or you want to test your knowledge, you want to test your skills and capability, then you can just give this exam and check your overall rank. You can check that where you stand in all over India, all over your center, all over city, all over school. Okay, where you stand, you can check your rank. With that, you can get scholarships also from Sri Chaitanya, and you will get some cash rewards also if you have done a good performance in the score. Okay, so now this was about score mainly. So if you want to register on the score, if you want to give the exam, you can just go on a website, that is www.srichaitanyascore.com. You can get yourself register there and verify and fill your details, pay, and then you can give your test there also. Okay, so this was about exam. Exam is going to be happen on 11th of October 2026. And the score website is www.srichaitanyascore.com. You can visit this website and you can just register yourself there. Okay, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe this channel for more updates and more such videos for science, mathematics, and IQ. If you want to learn more, then you can just subscribe this channel and please like these videos. Okay, and you can just visit our social media websites also for more info. And so thank you very much for today's class. I hope all of you enjoyed the class. With you, I have enjoyed this class too. So thank you everyone. Goodbye. Take care. Wish you have a nice day. Bye.